Hey there everybody, thank you for joining me here on 7 Mile Hill Sanctuary. We're going to make quiche tonight. It's been a little bit since I've done any kind of cooking to be put onto the channel, and so that's exactly what we're going to do. Lance really likes quiche, so do I actually. It's a nice healthy meal, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to start from scratch, and this is my flour board that I've already got started on flour that is hidden underneath the cabinet. We got to utilize our space just as absolutely much as we possibly can. So I'm going to start off with the pie crust, and if you had watched any of my other videos, you would have seen, as far as cooking goes, you would have seen where I got the recipe from, and I love the recipe because it's so darn simple, from Dysart's, Cooking with Dysart's. So I'll put the link down below so that you'll be able to order up those books for yourself as well. I mean, it's just simple, good home cooking food without a whole bunch of preservatives or anything like that. So obviously you can alter it and change it as much as you want, but the important thing is, you know, we want a good meal and we want it to be healthy. So let's get started. Okay, so let me get my bowl. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the flour, and that's going to be 3.5 cups. So we've got 3 cups, then a half, and the rest of it's going to go right here on my board. Okay, and then what we're going to do is put some shortening in here. And it's 1.5 cups of shortening. And you use the aerator. Now you can put salt in this if you want to, and the recipe calls for a dash of salt. I don't never put the salt in, so it still comes out good without that little dash of salt. And what I'm doing is I am cutting the shortening into the flour mixture. Cut it in until it looks like crumbles, like cornmeal or something. Just cut it in until you've got all the shortening mixed in, so it looks really nice with the flour. It's aerating your flour, actually. It's putting a lot of extra air in there. It really helps out a lot. I think it does. There's a difference if I don't. Now we're going to put a cup of milk in here. And you know, most of you know me by now, I don't use real milk, so I can't use real milk, so I've got the almond milk. Put that in there. I used to use cashew milk, but they started putting carrageenan in there to thicken it. But I can't eat that either. We're going to mix it up. Cup of milk. Okay. Okay, that's all in there. All done with that. Done with this. Done with this. All right. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to mix it up because you know there's always going to be some dry ingredients still at the bottom of your bowl, so you just work it all in. Okay. And I'll take about half of that. So when you're making quiche, you don't need to make anything to go on top. You just need the bottom. All you need is the bottom of your... See how pretty that is? It's nice and soft. And we're going to roll this out and put it in pie crust. Put flour on your pan. Roll her out. I always end up getting flour on my floor. That's okay, because that's what you got brooms for. Right? Right. Alright, let's get a pan and put this in. Here's my pie pan. And it's a deep dish. So when you get your quiche, you got something worth eating. Lay it in your pan halfway. Oh, get you out of here. Okay. Lay it all out best you can. So I like to, I'll roll my crust right here and just turn it underneath. And when you turn it underneath, you just pinch it like this. You just pinch it. And you just turn it under and you pinch. Turn it under and you pinch. If you have too much there, just take it off. Save it for the next one. So see, I got a lot of extras there. I'll use that in my next one. And usually in this recipe, you've got enough for 2 deep dish pies left over. Well, I shouldn't say left over. You got enough in here to do 2 deep dish pies or a deep dish pie and a crust. So if you want more than that, you obviously will need to double up your recipe. Now you can freeze this if you want to. It'll last about a month in your freezer, so it's still usable, I should say. I've got to use a little bit more. I think I need this. Thing about dough, you can play around with it until you got what you want, the consistency that you want. Okay, Now some people, you know, I used to do this. I used to go along the edge with a fork. Roll it up underneath and just go along with it pretty like a fork. I'll show you that with the next one that I do. You can do either way. Either way is pretty. I like this. Gives me a little extra room for me to put the quiche in. See how pretty it is? Okay. There's one. Let's get the second one out. Get the flour on the pan here. Alright. Easy peasy. Got a lot of great recipes I would love to share with y'all in different places where I got them from. If this is something of interest for you, please let me know. Send me a message. If you would be interested in a cookbook from 7 Mile Hill, please let me know. I would love to see how you think about that. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. I like to cook. Always like to cook. I am always making meals, especially for our volunteers. It makes me happy to see people happy to eat what I've prepared for them. My old trusty pans. I've had this for a long time. This is one of my pans, pie pans that I got from Pampered Chef a long time ago. I love it. Absolutely love it. It made out of that stone material. And once in a while I will get some Pampered Chef again when I see something I like. Like this set of measuring cups. I really like them. Good for the dry ingredients. That was worth the money. Alright, I'm going to get rid of the extra. Sometimes I've used the extra to do like fruit pies or something, just to use them up. So just take that off. Or you could cut it off if you want to be real particular. I used to take a knife and go along and just cut. Now I just toss her together. All right, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this underneath all the way around. If you need more dough, you got it right there in your bowl. Just add it on. If you got it a little scarce or a little thin in one area, and you think you need more, there you go. Go to your bowl. You got it. I did get thin there, so let me give them a little bit. Let me put a little bit on there. There we go. Take out a fork, and your flour. There you go. Easy peasy. My grandmother used to take the edge of her fork and do this. So you could do it in all kinds of different ways to make that crease. Pretty neat watching her do that. So you can see this is with a fork, and this is with the edge of your fork. So you can go whatever way you want to make it as pretty as you want. This looks more like a shell design, and you can see that is from the fork. There we go. All right. All right. Okay, crust is made. Let's get on to the quiche. Okay, we're back, and we're going to use my bowl that I just a few minutes ago did my pie crust in. I emptied it out, and we're going to get our quiche together. So for a normal 9-inch pie crust, you'd use about half of that onion, depending on if you like onions. I like onions. They're so good. Did you know onions actually helped during the plague? It saved many lives. You have to look it up. Onions are fantastic. You know, when potato salad goes bad, it's not always your first culprit, what you would think, which would be the mayonnaise. Being out in the hot sun, the onions could be going bad too, because they pick up the toxins and such from the air. Okay, so we are going to normal size onion. These are pretty good size onions. Chop it up, small pieces. There you go. I got my oven on 350, getting ready or prepping it. So that was, what did I do with my other onion? Another one. Dang it. There it is. So I'm putting 1.5 onions in for both pots. And we're going to add mushrooms. As much as you want in there, depending on how deep your pie pan is, okay? So that's 4 of them. I'm gonna put a couple. put in some peppers. I like these little guys. They seem to last longer than the big peppers. I like to slice them up. I put the seeds and all in there. Doesn't hurt to have the seeds in there, unless you can't have them. You can put a meat in here if you want to. I'm not putting any meat in. Now, if we were at the end of the season, I'd be taking those seeds and drying them for the summer to get ready for the planting season. Yeah, that looks really good. That's going to be pretty. This is all going to add space. Okay, and then the next thing is the broccoli. All frozen. Use up what's in the garden, and it's getting ready to plant, so we'll have more for next year. We did super good for last year. Okay, so I have some leftover egg whites that I used for making a pudding the other night. So I'm going to put them in there so not to waste them. Okay, so all that's mixed up. And we got our 2 pie crusts. Let me get this out of the way. We'll put the pie crust over here. Okay. And the recipe calls for 4 eggs. That's for your typical 9-inch pan. This is a deep inch pan, so I'm going to use 8 eggs for this. Okay. And let's see. We're also going to need butter. We get the vegetable butter. We don't use the real deal. So we don't do that. And because we are using this milk for the quiche versus regular milk, it doesn't have the fat in it that you would have in the regular milk. So I'm going to put a little bit of cornstarch in there to help thicken it up. All right, so I'm going to lay this. You can cut it up if you want to. I put it directly into the pan. You're going to get nice chunks of broccoli there. And when you buy the frozen broccoli, it's usually flash frozen. And the recipe calls for 2 cups of chopped up broccoli. Well, this is chopped up broccoli. Should be good. Or broccolets is what I think they call it. Broccolets. Broccoli out for everybody. Broccoli in the bottom. All right. Now, I'm going to mix the rest of this up, which is my mushrooms, my peppers, my onions. Mix them all up. Okay. Okay, put it all in there. So half of this is going to go into this pan. Most of the mushrooms in that one. Make sure this one gets plenty. Put the rest in here. A lot of onions. Lance likes his onions. Okay. All mixed up. Okay, now everything looks lovely. I'm going to spread it out so it's even. Okay, 2 extra onions in there. Push it in there. There we go. Now, let's mix our eggs up. Okay, so calls for 4 eggs. Let's see how that looks when I put it in here. Let's do that. We got 2 pies, so we'll do 8. Okay. That's 4. Now, calls for milk. Okay, so 1.5 cups of milk. Remember, we're doubling it, so it's going to be 3. Okay, mix it up really nice. Make sure it's all mixed up. And we're going to put some butter in there. I use the country crock. So it's about 3 tablespoons per pie. Lovely. Put half of it in here. That's looking better. Looking much better. Alright, so on one of them I'm going to put the vegan cheese from Daya. I like that cheese. Put it right on top. Okay. And then on the one that Lance likes, so he doesn't get deprived, I'm going to put, you can use mozzarella cheese if you want. I'm using some sharp cheese. Or cheddar cheese, I'm sorry. All right, so he gets cheddar, like a dairy-free. All right, and you put it in your oven, 350, remember. Stay tuned. The final product is coming up in about an hour. Cooks for about an hour at 350. Before getting it into the oven, I added a little bit of garlic and a little bit of salt and pepper on top. Then in the oven it went. That gives me time to clean up the kitchen, get the dog food ready, and we will be ready to eat in no time. It takes us about 15-20 minutes to go out there and feed the dogs. So, before you know it, your hour is up. So, as I mentioned earlier, down in underneath in the information, I'm going to put in the link to Dysart's Cooking with Dysart's. So you can see that, and you can easily order it through Amazon and get your amazing cookbook. Down home country amazing cookbook. Check it out. You might see a little bit extra broth that looks almost like water in here, and that's because of the almond milk. If it was regular milk, you wouldn't see that. Happy for that. Well, well. There you go. There you go. So remember, one of them had, so that he's got, when he brings workers up, they've got their quiche with cheddar cheese on it, and tonight we're going to do the vegan cheese. Well, here we are.
Ooh, yummy, yummy for my tummy.
we're about to enjoy our quiche. And like I said, you know, if you think you would like a cookbook, let me know from 7 Mile Hill. We got lots of recipes.
Great recipes. A lot of them from the state of Alaska, a lot of them from the Northeast in the state of Maine,
And Mississippi.
and Southern style cooking from Mississippi.
So,
We're a little cultured and countrified here too at 7 Mile.
so don't forget to like. Thank you for watching us all the way through. Thank you to all of our subscribers. And thank you for praying for us. Have a blessed day. We didn't do that. It's hot. Must be good.
You can't find this good in a restaurant, let alone a price to put on it.